Mike Horn is in Brussels for Panerai, an exceptional visit for the adventurer who's preparing for his ultimate challenge, to play a role in protecting the planet, and who's donning the costume of ambassador for the watchmaking house Panerai to highlight ambitious ecological projects. It was within the framework of a brand new concept of a watch boutique that Panerai received its favorite ambassador at Prosper on Rue Antoine Dancer, an essential Brussels artery for all trendy shopping. At number 101, this unique store offers another approach and aims to be more accessible to lovers of fine watchmaking, whether they're wealthy or not. Panerai is nicely represented here, with a corner bearing its name and a watch bar, just to drink a strong espresso in a beautiful tradition of Italian design. The CEO of Panerai, Jean-Marc Pontrouet, and Mike Horn came to visit this new lair of watchmaking discovery. It was an opportunity to ask Mike Horn a few questions about his partnership of more than 2 decades with the watch brand. Born of a meeting with Johann Rupert, the founder and CEO of the Richemont Group, owner of Panerai.
En fait, Panerai et moi, ça fait maintenant presque 22 ans qu'on est mariés, en fait. Et puis en 2000...
In fact, Panerai and I have been married for almost 22 years now. In 2001, I received a Laureus Award. It's an award that's a bit like the Oscars, but in our sports world. Monsieur Rupert, who's the big boss of the Richemont Group, was in the audience, and after the awards ceremony, he came up to me and he took off his watch and he said, "From today, you're only going to wear Panerai." And that's where our relationship actually started, almost 22 years ago now.
Depuis aujourd'hui, tu vas porter que les Panerai. Et c'est là où, en fait, notre relation a commencé il y a maintenant presque 22 ans.
And with this partnership, the watches dedicated to the explorer follow on from one another, with an ecological touch and recycled materials, in addition to their high-tech side, between eco-titanium and carbotech, materials from aeronautics and research, or with a robust and ultralight bracelet in recycled plastic. The priority for Mike Horn is a watch that withstands all temperatures, especially the coldest.
Ma montre a déjà sauvé ma vie. Ça veut dire que, en fait, pour moi, ma montre, c'est pas juste un bijou que je porte. Ma montre est faite pour moi. Ça veut dire que, en fait, quand je vais à moins 50,
my watch has already saved my life, which means that, for me, my watch is not just a piece of jewelry that I wear. My watch is made for me. That means that when I go to minus 50 degrees and minus 60 degrees in the polar regions, for sure, over there a normal watch would freeze. And because I use my watch for orientation, or almost like a compass, because the sun is in a certain place at a certain time. If you know in what time you are, the sun is in the same place at the same time every day. And that's how I know which way I'm going. North of the North Pole, you can't use compasses because you're north of the magnetic fields. That means a compass, it's lost. It spins in circles. And a digital watch freezes because it's actually liquid crystals and you can't see the numbers. In a watch, in an iPhone or in a Samsung, everything that is liquid crystal freezes. It means the only way I can really tell where I am is with this watch.
Digital gèle parce qu'en fait c'est des cristaux liquides et on voit pas les chiffres dans une montre ou dans un iPhone ou dans un Samsung. Tout ce qui est cristal liquide gèle. Ça veut dire que la seule manière que je peux vraiment savoir où je suis, c'est avec la montre.
Adventurer, yes, but Mike Horn remains a sentimental man, even at the North Pole.
Il faut avoir un côté sentimental, il faut avoir des émotions. C'est sûr que quand on avance bien, on est content, on est heureuse. Et quand on passe des moments un peu difficiles, parce que c'est pas tous les jours facile.
You have to have a sentimental side. You have to have emotions. Of course, when we're making good progress, we're happy. And when we go through somewhat difficult times, because it's not easy every day, when we're at minus 50, 24 hours a day, in the dark night, for 4 to 5 months. One day after another, there are ups and downs. we always try to really keep the line with very few ups and very few downs. But it's sure that emotions play a big role in our progress. We have to control our emotions. We also have to... At home, I have a family, I have daughters. I had a wife, and unfortunately she died of cancer, and that means that I also have responsibilities. And if you like people, you like life. If you don't like people, you don't really like life. And for me, that's just it. Sometimes it's easier to die than to stay alive. You have to have love in your life to want to stay alive. And if you don't have love, you can't get to the end of an expedition that lasts 2 years. You have to want to go home.
Tu dois avoir l'amour dans ta vie pour vouloir rester vivant. Et si tu n'as pas l'amour, tu ne peux pas arriver au bout d'une expédition qui dure 2 ans. Il faut avoir envie de rentrer à la maison.
Next challenge for Mike Horn is an ambitious ecological project, but still with the support of Panerai.
La prochaine expédition, on a plusieurs petites expéditions qu'on va faire. C'est une expédition qui s'appelle en anglais What's Left, en disant ce qui reste sur notre planète.
The next expedition. We have several small expeditions that we're going to do. It's an expedition called in English, What's Left, saying what's left on our planet. For sure, after 30 years of exploring, I've done 27 circumnavigations of the globe by boat. I crossed the North Pole, I crossed the South Pole, I swam down the Amazon, I've circumnavigated the world on the equator, and circumnavigated every continent. That means I've seen the Earth change in 30 years of exploration. And now at this point, I want to compare today with 30 years ago. And 30 years ago, I already started taking pictures of everywhere I went. On the glaciers, in fact, at the North Pole and at the South Pole, and in the jungle. And I want to go back to see what's left.
Au pôle Nord et au pôle Sud et dans la jungle. Et j'ai envie de retourner pour voir ce qui reste encore. Et puis en même temps, on a un programme d'éducation, un programme de conservation, de vraiment conserver notre planète et de reconstruire ce que l'homme a détruit.
And then at the same time, we have the education program, the conservation program, to really conserve our planet and to rebuild what man has destroyed. Today, we talk a lot about the warming of our planet, and for that, Panerai also supports me 100% in my motivation to keep my playground. It's precisely that, the fact that Panerai has made a watch 100% with recycled materials. And that allows me to have someone who supports my ideas, but who's ready to take concrete action. And if we don't do that, our world cannot continue to be developed and consume all the natural foods today. It means that the next expedition is to give people hope, to also say, be careful a little bit. We take care of our planet, and at the same time, we try to educate young people.
C'est de donner l'espoir aux gens, aussi de dire mais fais gaffe un peu qu'on prend soin de notre planète et en même temps d'éduquer les jeunes.
Who said that ultra luxury and ecology couldn't go together?